Comparison is one of the most expensive habits you have, not because it makes you jealous, but because it quietly destroys your financial progress. Most people don't fail with money because they earn too little. They fail because they constantly measure their life against people they don't understand, don't know personally, and shouldn't be competing with. Today, we'll talk about the comparison trap and why it keeps smart, capable people financially stuck. We're told that comparison is motivation. If you see what's possible, you'll work harder. But psychologically, comparison rarely motivates, it pressures, and pressure leads to bad financial behaviour. Comparison doesn't ask, "What do I want?" It asks, "Why am I behind?" Social media didn't create comparison, it industrialized it. You're no longer comparing yourself to people in your city. You're comparing yourself to highlight reels from around the world. Vacations without debt, cars without leases, success without context. You see outcomes, but never the trade-offs, and your brain fills the gaps with one assumption: I should be there too. Psychologists call this social comparison theory. Humans evaluate themselves relative to others. That worked when others meant your village. It fails when others means millions of strangers. Your brain wasn't built to process infinite upward comparison. So it creates stress, dissatisfaction, and urgency is the enemy of good financial decisions. Comparison doesn't usually make you spend more, it makes you spend sooner. You buy things before you're ready. You upgrade before it's sustainable. You invest before you understand risk, not because you need it, but because standing still feels like falling behind. Financial progress requires patience. Comparison destroys patience. The most dangerous part of comparison is that you never see the invisible parts of someone's life. Their debt, their anxiety, their financial instability. You compare your full reality to someone else's edited surface. And you conclude, something is wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with you. The comparison is broken. Comparison doesn't just affect spending, it changes what you want. Your goals stop being internal, they become reactive. You don't ask, "Does this improve my life?" You ask, "Does this look successful?" That's how people with good incomes end up with empty bank accounts. And how to escape the comparison trap. Step 1. Define enough. If you don't define enough, comparison will define it for you. Step 2. Limit exposure. You don't need more discipline, you need fewer triggers. Step 3. Measure progress, not position. Track where you were 6 months ago, not where someone else is today. Step 4. Build private wins. Quiet progress is still progress. Real financial progress often looks boring. No upgrades, no flexing, no announcements. Just stability, options, and peace of mind. Comparison hates that, but wealth is built in silence. If comparison has ever made you feel behind, remember this. You're not behind. You're just looking sideways. If you want to understand the psychology behind money decisions, subscribe to this channel, because the biggest financial mistakes rarely come from lack of knowledge. They come from invisible psychological traps.